how to stop thinking too much. It happens to all of us, and some of us fucking way overdo it. I am guilty of that, and so because of that, I realized how to stop, how to minimize, I guess, the overthinking. Your brain just goes into like hyperdrive, and it just goes and goes and goes. You grab a hold of a thought and just grab it and break that down, or like sometimes the same thought just goes through our head over and over again, and we don't know how to stop it, you know? So how do you stop overthinking or thinking too much? Number one, for me, it would be it would be meditation. And it takes a while to get used to meditating. It's not like you can just sit there and meditate. You don't know how to meditate. You don't know how to just be. Meditation is just being, allowing yourself to be without thinking, without judgment. So whenever thoughts go through your head, right? Well, I'm going to use my example. Whenever thoughts go through my head, so I sit down, I put in some headphones just so I can quiet the noise. Sometimes I put spa music. Spa music is very relaxing, very, very relaxing. It's beautiful. Especially if you're having like a hard time, you know, at work. It's too much. The truth is, there's too much going on in the world. There's too many noises, and all that chatter it's just like a computer, you know. You put too many programs in the computer, it'll start to slow down. So for meditation, I like to just put on some headphones, and either you can go on YouTube for guided meditation, or you can do it yourself. I started with guided meditations, you know, there's all kinds of stuff out there. So it could be either inner peace, happiness, how to get money, blah, blah, blah. But if you're overthinking too much, you want to do like inner peace. The first thing I can tell you is, don't think I have to stop thinking. Because that right there creates resistance. And resistance just makes it stronger. You're like, oh shit, I gotta stop thinking. But then whenever that thought comes to you again, you're like, oh no, it came back to me. How do I stop it? So the best way to do it, I found out, is you just acknowledge it and don't try to push it away. Just accept it. Accept it, and once you accept it, your mind will start to calm down little by little. So let's say you're struggling with bills, okay? And I've struggled with other stuff before, but let's say, for example, it's bills and problems in a relationship and problems at work, okay? You get these things that just puzzle your mind day in and day out, like, oh, how do I stop it? Whenever you have a problem, for example, bills, be like, all right, well, I have bills. Okay, I acknowledge I have bills, and I'm gonna pay for them. You know, I acknowledge that I'm messing up my relationship. I will make it better. Don't say I will try to make it better, because trying is just constant, you know. And so whenever you say you're gonna make it better, just say you're gonna make it better, and then things eventually. Because at this point, you actually want to make it better. Trying makes it seem like, all right, well, I'll give it a try, but it might not work. So whenever you have a thought, just acknowledge it, see it for what it is, and move on. Don't try to hold on to that thought, or let's say all these thoughts are making you feel some kind of way, bad or anxious or whatever it is. don't try to stop it, because if you try to stop it, it just creates more resistance, and whatever you resist persists. So again, just let it be. Now, how do you do it? For example, me, now that I've been meditating for like maybe close to a year now, and so I just put like some spa music and I just listen to the music. And whenever a thought that's like bugging me comes to mind, I don't try to push it away. I just acknowledge it for what it is. Like, all right, and it goes away. It just eventually goes away, and then I get back to the music, and I'm just listening to the music, and I'm just relaxing. Or let's say you're out and about, and just thoughts that puzzle you, that just stress you out. I would just count, and just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what that does is, and then you focus on the number, you just kind of like picture the number. What that does is that focuses on one thing, and everything else just kind of like stops. Okay? And if the thought does come across it, you just like, okay, you acknowledge it, but you keep on counting, and that eventually it goes away. The way the mind works is, when it comes to thoughts, whatever let's picture a road, okay? Let's picture a road, and then the back roads, like the little residential areas. Every time you think of you have a thought, and let's say you don't want to have that thought, the more you think about it, the more it gets bigger, and bigger, and bigger, and bigger. So when it up until the point when it becomes just a major intersection. Okay, if you don't think about it, the thought is still there, but it just becomes like a little. It becomes harder for it to get instilled in your mind. Or like one of my friends, he told me the example of let's say a cornfield. Okay, let's say you have a cornfield and you have a thought. Just picture the person just walking through it, just making a path. The more you make that path, the more obvious it becomes. So like I said, you don't want to. Every time you think about it, you're creating a path. Every time you resist it, it's getting even bigger. So don't resist it. Acknowledge it for what it is, and move on. Move on. You gotta see everything in a neutral way, without judgment. Whatever makes you feel bad. Whatever makes you feel bad, it's okay. Just let it be. Whatever makes you feel good, it's okay. But also let it be. Mainly this is for like whatever's making you not be. Just being. There is, I'm not gonna get into that. I guess it's just gonna be. That's it.